Welcome everybody to the first day of Affiliate Summit and the best half hour in Affiliate Summit. So my name is Michelle. I'm going to be doing social media audits. I'm always happy to answer questions. Now I heard in the first session that I went to that you should really fill out those speaker evaluation forms, and they were promising things like free tickets to the next Affiliate Summit, which is West. I talked there too. It's actually a drawing. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they were telling people. So I'm just repeating what I heard. So I'm going to be talking about social media audits, and we were talking about this yesterday. And somebody asked me, well, what do you mean by an audit? So what do I mean is checking out your own social media presence online, your strategy, and with some emphasis on what your competitors are doing. And this applies to all levels of business, whether you are just starting out, you're a startup, you're somewhere in the middle. And I have clients that are looking at 1 million plus a month. They're just taking a good hard look on what their strategy is. Is it working? What's the engagement? And a lot about what their competitors are doing. So we're going to focus on the big four: Facebook, Instagram. I love Snapchat. I love video. So I included YouTube and social, but can also be, you can talk about it as a search engine because it is the second largest search engine. Pinterest, I'm a huge fan of. And not so much LinkedIn today. I'm talking about it organically. I write about social media audits on my blog and social media strategy in general. I believe in content marketing, especially video right now, and it works for all social platforms. I contribute to Entrepreneur Magazine's video channel, and I have a little bit about social media audits there as well, so you can get some more information about the how-tos and the whys there. So I'll go right to a case study. This is a social audit that I did for a Philadelphia company. It's Energy Plus. They are an energy reseller. If you live in a state where electricity delivery is deregulated, you're familiar. So Energy contacted me, and they wanted to know about their competitors in particular. They weren't so concerned about themselves. They wanted to know about the competitors, and I identified 5 of them. You see them up here. And so I asked them for a URL, I asked them for their Facebook page because they have multiple divisions, and I checked them out. And you can see, I don't have a pointer, so you can see that they're at the bottom. So they have a decent Facebook following. I'll step away from that. A Facebook following, 29,000 followers. It's nothing to laugh at. So it's pretty respectable, but their biggest competitor has them by over a factor of 10, almost 374 plus thousand. So they're kind of getting killed. But what they do have is they're growing. So you see their change. Their audience is picking up, and actually the guy in the #1 spot, which is direct, they're sort of ticking people off and losing their followers, but this is a big disparity in number of followers. We'll have to look at their engagement instead. So typically when I write up an audit, it's somewhere in the vicinity of 30 to 35 pages long. So you look at a lot of things and really analyze the competitors too. When I sent them back their audit, I called them and I said, you know, this is like 2-3 pages. I feel really bad. There's just really nothing here. And the guy who hired me said, I know, we just wanted someone else to tell our CMO and hear it from a third party. And I was like, I got played, sort of. And he's like, yeah, because we know we're getting killed, and we know it's here, but he won't listen to us, and he won't let us get out there. So your objectives with your own social media audit, and if you're a small business, it's possible that you open up a Facebook page, maybe you're doing Twitter, hopefully you have a LinkedIn company page, and you may have just started posting, our products, our brand, our services, without really any strategy to it. So maybe it'd be a good time to take a good hard look of what you're doing. Is it paying off for you, and how effective is it? We also want to check on competitors. If you're in the small business startup range, or maybe even somewhere in the middle, you may think, well, I don't really have competitors. There's no way I'm as big as someone like Amazon or Target or whatever industry you're in. But if you don't view them as competitors yet, you can view them as somebody to learn something from. We can all learn. You're here today because you want to learn from somebody else. You could learn from what people or businesses or brands who are doing what you want to do, what are they doing online, what content works for them, what do their followers respond to, and check out what they are and what you can be. And then look for an opportunity. So in Energy's Homes situation, they're way behind on social. We didn't even include YouTube or Instagram in that because Energy wasn't on it, but their competitors actually were. So they really had them by far more than what that graph showed. There are other opportunities if engagement, if you're losing followers on one channel or your competitors losing followers, that's an opportunity for you. And especially if you have very conversive followers, there can be opportunities for you even though you're behind on followers. It's much better to have 5,000 very engaged and talkative followers than to have 100,000 who really don't care anything about what you post. And then pivot strategy as necessary. Maybe your content is off, maybe you post too often, maybe it's not enough, or maybe you belong in a different channel altogether because the age range doesn't match up for your target audience. I want to talk a little bit about why be on social. Last year at Affiliate Summit East, I did a talk about social media and return on investment, which is a challenge in any social media strategy. If you're doing paid social, it's a little bit easier. I can track my Facebook paid ads. It tells me how much I sold, visits to the website. If you do Google AdWords, that's a straight click path. It's easy. I know how much the click cost. I know how much the customer bought. It's tough with social media and the ROI because it's not so easy. Sometimes it's about lift and how much more traffic I drive over time to my website, and then what's my average sale value. U.S. millennial women, 75% will look for you on social media before they actually make a purchase decision. It's one of the largest social proof. So I'm going to look online and see what are they saying about you. Are you there? Do you post? Do you talk there? Do you have a pulse? And what are other users saying about your brand or your product? Social also gives us a lot of data. So we have billions of social media users out there. Whether you choose to participate in social media and make a good strategy out of it is up to you, but they will be out there talking about you if you get to be big enough, no matter what, whether you're going to be online or not. So if you're doing paid social, you have tracking pixels. I can track sales, interests and behaviors, targeting on Facebook. You see it on Pinterest now, a little bit rougher. Twitter has it. Even LinkedIn has interest and behaviors. If you're just going to do organic or earned social, I can still see all kinds of data about my followers. This is Facebook Insights. I'm sure you've seen it. You can see your male-female split. And a really great one is what time of day are they online? It may be a lot later at night than you think. It's my pro tip for Facebook. You're having a tough time getting through that Facebook algorithm, and we're always having a tough time getting through the organic algorithm. Angst is working really well right now. So I'm suggesting to you, if you have a Facebook page, go in and change just one of your posts. Just try it. It'll get you at least a factor of 10 in reach. Rather than selling, so we're going to avoid those words like sale, for sale, discount, and those are the words we want. Use a little emotion in it. Don't you hate it when you can't get a ticket to the first row? I'm so worried about this. I love it. I hate it. I'm worried. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Emotion will get you through that Facebook algorithm. Try it on your next post. And we look at our social media strategy, we want to look at our Google Analytics traffic and make sure it's really all making sense and that something isn't off in our tracking. This is Google Analytics from one of my websites. It's just the social referrals. Typical Facebook audience, so it's usually about 60% of your social drivers. It's the largest. And then, depending on how you're marketing, I don't do anything on Yelp, so I have to go and see what somebody's saying about me on Yelp. My other site, 80% Pinterest, because it's all about Pinterest. So if this isn't matching up with your efforts, it might tell you that one of your channels in your marketing is off. So if I'm spending all my time on Facebook, but I see more coming from Twitter, maybe they're out there talking about me and I have to get out there and engage their audience. So first step in your own social media audit, make a list of all your known social accounts. This means the ones that you know about. I've never worked on an account where they gave me a list or pointed me at the website. I get through prelim phase and they say, I can show them a few accounts and they tell me, yeah, those Facebook pages, we set them up wrong. It was an employee that used to work here. It was a product line that we started, but it didn't work out. So it's not usually a harmful thing. It's usually a well-meaning employee or a friend that helped them out. But it's good that you have a handle on those accounts and maybe shut them down if they're really dead, because it sort of, if someone goes out there looking for you on social, they come across these old accounts, that it makes you look like you're not active. And then identify competitors. Again, so you may have competitors that you really do want to compete with, like NRG had a list that they knew they wanted to catch, or you may have people that you just want to learn from. you're not ready to view anyone as a competitor yet. Go out and Google yourself, and this is the way I like to start. Just think about the average user, get out of your business owner head, and think about how do people find me, and just Googling yourself, getting those relevant and related searches at the bottom of Google search will help give you a little bit of content ideas for your site, and it may turn up some surprising things that you might not know. I've done a fair amount of work for executives who get trashed by an employee on a blogger site or Glassdoor, and so then they turn these up in Google and we have to go in and say, well, this is where they're finding you. I also use it to set up Google alerts. If I'm doing an audit or I'm keeping track of my own sites or for someone else, I set up Google alerts so I get a daily email, and I like to have it as a daily email. I have something else that handles RSS feeds for me, just to see what my competitors are doing, or another site that I'm interested. It tells me if they turned up in a news report, did they turn up on TV somewhere, and we'll talk about what's going on in our competitors' world a little bit later on, but that can give you a heads up that they've got some free press somewhere, and you should probably know about it. We looked at our own social accounts. Those are the ones we own, have passwords to, and can log into, but our unowned accounts. If you've ever been to Yelp or TripAdvisor, you fall into that group, that 75%ers that are going to look on social to make a purchase decision. You look on TripAdvisor to check out the Marriott before you showed up here. Are you looking for restaurants that are in the Times Square area? So you are willing to take the word of a total stranger who's leaving reviews on these sites. You'll take their word and their recommendations over the brand. So you'll look on the restaurant's website for their menu, but then you'll go out and look and say, well, what are other people saying? Is it a good place to eat? Does it have bed bugs here? Is it a good value, and what's the service? So if you have Yelp about your business, especially if you have a retail location, like the last audit I started, I logged in they gave me logged-ins to their Facebook page. It turned out they had 12 more Facebook pages that they didn't mention because they had retail locations. So we had to track down the Yelp accounts for all of those. You can't control what's posted there, but you can participate in it. You can add your hours, you can add photos, but you can have a presence there. I like on TripAdvisor, if I see a hotel with a shaky review or a few bad ones, that the hotel is on there participating. It gives me social proof and confidence that they care about the customer and they're going to rectify anything that went wrong. Then search social channels for imposters. You're looking for your own name out there online. I love Kanye West. He gives me lots of fuel for all the talks I do. I can always work him in somehow. So this is an imposter account on Kanye, and they actually state that. So they're doing no harm. You can have imposters out there who are out to get you, like they're bashing you for some reason. You may have to address that in some ways. You could have imposters who are out there just regurgitating everything you post. If you post coupons for your business or discounts, they may just repost them because they're truly fans. But you should just be aware of them. This is a nothing account, but if you have other accounts that are sort of camped near your branding, you may need to shut them down. And we've done that before with Facebook and YouTube. It's actually relatively easy with them. You might want to embrace them as part of an influencer or a blogger or an affiliate marketing campaign, perhaps. So you could find out a lot if you look for these sites that are out there talking about you. This, I feel, is the most important step of your own audit. Who owns the keys to your account? And I don't mean just the logins. If you have a Facebook page, you may be using the Facebook Business Manager if you're larger and you have a full-fledged team. Or you just have straight logins, especially if it's Pinterest. Twitter has the concept of admins now. So who really has those logins? You should have a list of passwords. But what's also very critical here is what email address is connected to each one of your social media accounts, and if there's a phone number, verification, whose phone number is that and who has control of it. I've been there in situations where an employee has been let go. It's been under good circumstances, it's been under bad circumstances, and they go rogue, they take out your Facebook page. And I've been there where the Facebook page is gone, and when it is deleted, it is deleted. Twitter, you can save the day, and they will jump in and help you. They've helped me a few times. Not a chance with Facebook. So you've got to know who has that email address associated with your Facebook account, the original one that set it up, and if there's a phone number attached to it, you got to have control of that phone number. And we all have lots of people that help us out, and I know how to set up a Facebook page, and so they do it, but they leave the company someday or something goes wrong, and then you can lose everything that you built in just 5 minutes. So this is back to NRG. So NRG getting killed here by their competitor and not really making it on social. Social is about being online, but it's also about being social and human. NRG was a sponsor when Villa won the NCAA championship this year, right? So they sponsored the Victory Parade in Philadelphia, which I live north of Philly. So one day Twitter lights up, Villa's in the parade, I see NRG Plus as a sponsor of the parade, and I call him up. I said, "Why, you're sponsoring that parade?" He's like, "Yeah." "Is it on Facebook?" "No." "Is it on Twitter?" He's like, "Well, we asked a couple of our employees to tweet it if they had Twitter accounts." Like, "Are you out there on the street right now?" "No." Like, "You have tents." "I know you have tents because Green Mountain owns the tents and NRG owns Green Mountain." Like, that's the part of being social, and that's the part of having an event, and you can pivot your strategy with something going on in your world, and we'll talk about what goes on in your competitor's world. They had an opportunity, and they kind of let that fall, and they still sort of do let it fall. Your audience is very important. That's the size, the number of followers, but we want to know that audience per channel, and compare yourself to your competitors per channel so you can really see where you stand. But what's more important is that, thank you. So are we 15 minutes in or 15 minutes left, same thing. Activity and frequency. How often are you posting online? How often are your competitors posting online? And that'll give us a little bit of insight into our engagement and what's a good number of posts per day that engages our followers but doesn't tick them off at the same time. So it's about the quality and the accuracy of the content, but also frequency, because we can start to irritate them and lose their followers. So we see that this client took away their names, 272,000 on Facebook. They have a nice following there. Instagram, though, they feel is their most important channel. So they weren't posting enough on Instagram, and not so much on Facebook. There's also a problem with responsiveness. So it's tough to see their spots. They're actually the blank spot underneath the green line. So they aren't growing because their activity isn't up there, but they're also not engaging with the followers. We want to look at engagement per channel. This means how are your followers actually responding to what you post? And this is what I feel is the most important part of your social media audit. And take a good hard look at this. How often do I post? And do people actually retweet me? Do they like what? Do they make comments? Do they favorite it? Do they share it? If they're not doing that, then you've got to pivot your strategy and change your content as well. You will start to lose your followers, but you won't sell anything. That's what our ultimate goal is, to probably sell something, right? Because you're here for an affiliate marketing conference. We want to sell online, and if we start to lose our followers and they don't care about what we're posting, they're just going to tune us out. So we saw on Instagram, not too much engagement there, and they're still below. Now Twitter represents their opportunity. I know Twitter is a little bit stagnated. They only have 10,000 followers here. It's not huge, but they had an opportunity here to get ahead of their competitor. Their Twitter followers are extremely active because they have a huge blogger program going on and a big affiliate program going on. And they're very, very active on Twitter. They're on Instagram too, really chatty on Twitter. They retweet every promotion they put up. They do their own articles, videos, and put it there, and the brand just tune them out. I would log into their Twitter account, and any given day you see 80 to 90 notifications of their bloggers saying, here we are, here's your brand, here's your products, here's your sales. And that was their opportunity, that they could really pick up on Twitter and while they worked on building up their Instagram following. So what's going on in your competitor's world? In Energy Plus's case, they were a huge sponsor of a parade that got national attention because it was a basketball championship, and they dropped that. Your competitors can have something going on, like they got free TV coverage. It could be by accident. They made the press. Somebody's giving them a review. If you sat on Dennis's Facebook advertising campaign, then you could see how to get yourself in the eyes of the press. So maybe that's happened for one of your competitors. They might have a giant blogger campaign going on or influencer marketing going on, and that's a little tougher to track with some of the tools I use, and I can tell you all their names. They could have hired a star. So in that case, the last three graphs I just showed you, their competitor hired a star, which was Gwyneth Paltrow. So she's pretty huge. And so we can look at their website traffic and just see the lift that goes with that whole campaign. So we want to know why. What is it that we're missing when we're stalking our competitors that's giving them more traffic than us? And here's their activity versus engagement. I strongly suggest to you that you up your video game at any level. Whether you're starting beginning a YouTube channel, I suggest to you that you do video on Snapchat. It all depends on your target age range. Snapchat is huge. I see that age range expanding. YouTube, there's something for everyone. Make that part of your social media strategy, your game. You don't have to have this lovely professional video that our man in the back is doing. You can just do it with an iPhone. As long as the sound quality is good, work on YouTube. So you see here they are again. So this is the beauty site. And I want to cross over there. If you look at the top graph, their yellow bar. Their competitor that's above them on the top line, top chart, they're pretty spread out. They have very even engagement. And you see guy number 4 with the yellow bar, not so much. They're not doing a lot on YouTube, and they are a dead ringer for using YouTube for their strategy. They're in beauty. All kinds of do-it-yourself tutorials that they can be putting up there, but they're not doing it. So you look at their comparison on the bottom, they fall down at the bottom because they don't have enough activity on the channel, and their competitor does. So what's your content? We're looking at our own content, and we're looking at our competitors' content. Are we using the exact same stuff across all channels? It's possible. If you do that, you can use Google Plus. Google Plus, I don't have warm feelings for Google Plus anymore. You can use the same content for Google Plus that you do on Twitter. Same line, same hashtags, drive to the same pages. It's not going to work for you on Pinterest because if you use that same square, like 1100 by 1100 photo that you would use Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, it's going to come out as a tiny little square on Pinterest, and you're going to get lost in that news feed. So are you using the same content across the same channel? Yeah, you can, but you might have to adjust the images that go with it. If you check out, I did a video for Affiliate Summit West in January. It was all about image sizes and how it matters in what you post, because that's what can get you lots more engagement and shares and get you more attention, because it just takes up more space on the newsfeed. And then what kind of content is working with your target audience? Do they like video? Do they want to see infographics? Quotes? Everyone loves quotes. But you have to post and you have to feel it out and see what's working for them, and you can get some ideas from your competitors. Oh, I froze up. There we go. Hashtag use. So when you're looking at your own posts and your competitors' posts, do you have one consistent hashtag that you're using across that your followers can find you? Do you post consistently? If you're blogging to drive traffic to your site and promote your affiliate programs, it's always good to blog on a schedule. So me as your follower, I know that you're always going to put a blog post out on Wednesday and Friday, and maybe a video on Saturday. I know you're on a schedule, and I know when to look for you. Hopefully you're starting an email list too that you email when you've posted some content, but it's good to stay on a schedule, and that's what will help you grow your social media following. If you stick to staying on brand, posting on a schedule, some consistent hashtag use, and then what's your response time and rate, and that of your competitors too. So the beauty site, lots of Twitter comments and notifications going on, no response time to them. It could be days if they respond at all. Same thing with Facebook, and everyone sees this, so it's important to stay in touch with your followers. If you're going to be out there in social, take some time out. And I know you can think, I only have so much time in a day, how am I going to do all this? But so you may have to hire. And do you have links in your posts? You'd be surprised if you look online that people leave links out of their posts. We want to drive traffic to our sites and make some sales. If you don't include a link, it doesn't apply to Instagram and Snapchat, but for the rest of them, you should include a link with your posts. And then are your channels and posts on brand? This is my YouTube channel, my other one. So I don't have the opportunity to put, it's YouTube, so you don't have the opportunity for a profile photo. So I faked it with this, but make sure you have like a nice consistent look across all your channels so people can identify you and say, yeah, I know that's you. And then quality. I try to work my daughter into every single talk I do. This is about video quality. The quality of video that people will accept for your content marketing has come way down. It's much cheaper. It doesn't have to be a $2,000, $3,000 super expensive post-production edited thing. You can shoot it off your iPhone. Use video in your content marketing. Just make sure the sound quality is good. So you may invest in a microphone. As long as they can hear you, the video quality, you'll get by. Adjust your profiles your photos if necessary, so you look on brand, it's clear. Facebook has taken away that, you can't use so much text in a banner image. You have a profile photo that should have a nice clear logo, and this big banner image that you can say, here's what I sell, here's how to get a hold of me, and this is what my name is. So you stick in people's memory and make sure that's very consistent across your social profiles. We process visual faster than we do text, and that's why these images become very important. They give us increased engagement, and they just take up more room on the newsfeed, like those images stand out. So I'm encouraging you to make images part of your social strategy, and if it's not, when you look at your own social media profiles now in your post, maybe you'll start including them because it can get you more shares. Same thing with retweets. There's my dog. I'm going to cut it off here. There's all kinds of images you can include because it gives me 5 minutes left for questions. Include professional product photos, but these are not so important anymore. Quotes are great content, and video, the most engaging way to tell your story. So I'll kill it here, so it gives us 5 minutes left for questions. If you have any, I love it. And I use for my audits, I set up Google Alerts. I use bundle posts to help me with RSS feeds. That's the chart you saw came from SEM Rush because it helps me check out my efforts, my competitors' efforts. I post using Hootsuite. I do not use Hootsuite on Facebook because you're going to get killed by the algorithm. Post right into Facebook, and you can use the scheduling from there. It's not Hootsuite. It's like any scheduling third-party app is going to hurt you in the algorithm. What else do we have? That's all. I was using Crowdfire, but I dropped that. You had a question?
You mentioned Snapchat at the beginning a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you figure out the analytics of Snapchat? How do you know what people are actually paying attention to?
You can't right now. So if you have, so the question was, how do you figure out what's going on in Snapchat and the analytics? So you don't have any APIs to Snapchat yet. I'm sure they're coming quickly. Instagram just converted pretty much everybody or gave you the opportunity to convert to business pages like in the last week or two. So you're getting some stats there. They're pretty meager. The only thing you can really do in Snapchat right now, because they're all personal accounts, unless you're a massive brand that's on the Discover, is you can just see how many, like you look at a post and you go back and you can see how many people saw it. That's all you can do right now. I'm sure that will change very rapidly because they've just been growing like gangbusters, and I'm writing a guide for Snapchat, so I'm working on that. But you have no stats there yet. You will. So it's just the number of people who viewed you. There aren't any real Snapchat stars yet. There's a few huge, but nobody amazing. There's no Kardashians yet. Any other questions? Nothing? What? Brandon?
So what are your thoughts on motivating customers to tweet for you? Like tweet for a coupon, tweet us, tweet about us, and we get 10% discount.
Yeah, my thoughts on getting customers to retweet or reshare your content. So this is going to apply across, like Instagram, Facebook. I found that if you're just authentic you, so I have a personal brand for me, and I go into actual groups, and they're all real me. When I go into like a tweet chat or something like that, that's me, and I don't have anyone managing. Hopefully someone back home is retweeting everything from today right now, but I don't know if that's really happening. I have to check when I get out of here. So I find groups that they're really related to what I'm interested in or what I do, and you'll find that you can actually make honest friends. So I have honest, real people that I've met across social media. I haven't been mugged or attacked yet. I meet them in public places. But as long as you're authentic and it's something that you're truly interested in, you'll find followers who will reshare and retweet you because they're truly interested. It's about finding the right followers. Don't buy followers, right? You're getting a number. You'll get no engagement off of that. You'll get, even if you do an incentivized following, right? I have a sweepstakes, sign up here, follow me. They aren't going to reshare anything. They're out of there as soon as they get that. I'm still waiting for my Marriott points because I follow them on Instagram and I haven't gotten it yet. So it's really about being authentic. But you can find groups that apply to you. Blogger outreach will help you too. And as long as it's real and it's a real product they're interested in, you'll see. They'll come along, but it's got to be the right fit, the right friends. Anybody else? Nothing. No more Snapchat. Come on, Snapchat. Do Snapchat. Time is up. We have to get out of here. Thank you, everybody.